I hope you have enjoyed the reading assignments and completed the quizzes. Let us wrap up. A recap. Infrastructure asset management is about getting the best use of limited resources to minimize the risk. It complements engineering and technology. I'm sure you have heard the parable about the elephant and the seven blind men. Asset management isn't just a software. It is not just maintenance or just accounting. It's a comprehensive approach to managing infrastructure. You might have realized that asset management is essentially about managing an infrastructure system in the most effective and sustainable fashion. It is not an additional task for the organization. It is the core of how the organization should operate. We discussed the process. The 6 questions of infrastructure asset management encompasses both operational and strategic planning aspects of an organization. There is an important third point here. Often there is a gap between high-level strategy and on-the-ground operations, leading to misaligned objectives and ineffective implementation. The so-called tactical handshake ensures continuous collaboration between strategic and operational levels, enabling adaptive management. So, a tactical handshake being existent in organization promotes a culture of collaboration within and across organizations. By establishing a shared understanding of assets and adopting structured assessment processes, we can bridge the gap between strategy and operation. This results in a better targeted investment and more appropriate design and maintenance choices. The tactical handshake ultimately facilitates effective, efficient, and adaptive asset management, ensuring that both strategic goals and operational realities are aligned and mutually supportive. An asset management system helps an organization to direct, coordinate, and control asset management activities. It enhances risk control and ensures that asset management objectives are consistently met. However, not all activities of asset management can be formalized within this system. Aspects like leadership, culture, motivation, and behavior, which significantly influence achieving asset management goals, may be managed through other organizational arrangements. Therefore, asset management system is only a part of full process of asset management. Key areas in asset management include asset inventory management or maintaining detailed records of all assets. It is important that this process can be sustained over time. Asset condition assessment, using simple and complex techniques to assess and estimate the condition of asset components. Failure consequence estimation, assessing potential impacts of asset failures. Sometimes we use simulation models to do this. Risk-based decision making, guiding decisions through risk assessments. For example, risk matrix. Life cycle cost analysis, or analyzing the total cost of ownership over an asset's lifespan. Small island developing states face unique infrastructure challenges. Some of the factors contributing to this includes diseconomies of scale, higher cost due to small market or customer size, reachability. Isolation increases transportation and logistical costs. Social attrition or lack of expertise, limited access to skilled professionals. This is also driven by 2 points above. Climate vulnerability, While climate change impacts the entire world, cities are especially at the forefront, facing the highest levels of hazard exposure and vulnerability. Environmental damage. Cities have many fragile ecosystems that are easily impacted by human and natural impacts. Let us take a case study. This is the case study of the Maldives. The country contains more than 185 inhabited islands. Notice the scale of three example islands on the right hand side on the slide. Many of these islands have populations measured in hundreds or thousands. It is typical to have 1 or 200 households in a single island. Imagine the challenges of providing and sustaining infrastructure services to each of these islands. Maldives, like many small island developing states, have a very long coastline length per unit area of island. This makes the country extremely vulnerable and expensive to adapt to climate change. Maldives is already seeing impacts of climate change, like coastal erosion. Urgent adaptation measures like this coastal embankment are needed and ends up being very expensive to construct and maintain. Take a random island, Utemu Island in the Halif Atoll. It has around 100 households and is located 300 kilometers from the capital Male. It takes 6 to 7 hours to reach Utemu by speedboat and more than 20 hours by the slower cargo boat, illustrating the logical hurdles faced by the country and other small island developing states. Even trash has to be transported hundreds of kilometers by boat. Here is a picture of a boatload of trash en route to the Tilafushi garbage processing plant from the capital, Male. Environmental damage poses significant challenges. Wastewater treatment plants are built under different projects but often bypass due to high costs. This leads to untreated wastewater being released into the ocean. The main water supply system uses desalination, and the discharge of desalination brine uh, can harm the coral reefs and marine life. Densely populated islands resort to land reclamation, which impacts natural habitats and ecosystems. Now, try to think of good strategies to deal with infrastructure challenges. So, strategies for good asset management in small island developing states. Some examples to get you started can be creating circularity as much as possible within islands or nearby clusters of islands. When designing infrastructure, go with small scale, efficient systems. Understand the limitations of capacity in islands, also due to smaller populations. So go for non-high-tech solutions whenever possible, particularly those with less complex operation and maintenance needs. Be realistic in project planning and design. Do life cycle analysis and check affordability. So, I'm sure you can come up with many more useful strategies. Thank you.